everyone, it's Rachel from, sorry, I'm very tired, from Saints and Makers. I am doing a really quick unboxing. I got my Lord of the Rings box set in today. I bought it on Amazon. This is going to be the first full book set that I do rebinding on. You can see I'm working on my first bookbinding project right now that I'm not recording. I do have pictures of it, and I'll probably talk a little bit about it. But this is actually the set I wanted to do first. However, it didn't arrive and I was antsy. So I tried something something I was a little bit less worried about. And it's a good thing because I've learned a lot and I have a lot I'm going to change about how I would do these. Anyway, so the reason I want to unbox these is there was some information I couldn't find when I was looking on online for details while I was waiting. Let's talk about them first. So this is the Lord of the Rings. It's got the Hobbit and then the trilogy. It is illustrated by Alan Lee, who was the conceptual artist for the Hobbit movies. Arguably my least favorite of the Tolkien movies done by Peter Jackson, but what can you do? Anyway, they are gorgeous. And you might be asking, Rachel, why are you going to rebind a beautifully bound set of books? And the answer is I want all leather bound books because I have this image of like an old mansion library that is full of leather bound books that match. It's just who I am. Anyway, so here's the books. I bought them on Amazon. I spent $78.88. So let's round that up to $80. It was more with tax, but you get my point. So $78.88 for all 4 books, but at 80 that would be $20 a book, which is an incredible deal for hardcover, brand new, beautifully illustrated books. So I'm real happy with this. So as you can see, it comes in this really cool box. The box has a scene from each of the books. So the Hobbit. Let's see, which one would this be? This is going to be Fellowship of the Rings, and this one. Oh, is that Two Towers? I think that's Two Towers. It's either Two Towers or Return of the King. When they get to the Black Gate, and then Gollum's like, "No, I'll show you another way," and he takes them. Spoilers up to the spider. Anyway, so here's the books. Let's talk first about I want to show you something cool. When I first got it, I was like, "Oh no, is my box damaged?" And it's not. It's cut this way so you can see the books, which I think is cool. I mean, I don't think that after I bind these in leather, I'm going to be able to fit them in the box. I might, if I can't fit them in the box, I might just make like a book nook out of that box. That would be a cool craft. Let me know if you guys want to see that. All right, so here is, let me zoom out a little. Hold on. Honestly, I'm kind of hiding my room a little bit because I'm in the process of reorganizing. So I've got a spool of muslin. I've got stuff I'm using to cover the leather while I'm engraving, and gold leafing for simplicity. Maybe at the end of this, I'll show you what I've got done. Anyway, all right, so here is The Hobbit. Beautifully illustrated. So you can see it says with illustrations by Alan Lee. It's got gold embossing. J.R.R. Tolkien is also embossed. The spine is quite beautiful. And on the back, you can see Smaug. Smaug. First time I ever read The Hobbit was in 4th grade. I didn't read it. Mr. Fella, my 5th grade teacher, Terry Fella, read it to me. He was from England, and every day after recess, I lived in Phoenix, Arizona. It was hot. So anytime after recess, we would come in, and he read to us for an hour, and I got to read some of my favorite books, or I got to listen to some of my favorite books, all of which I will probably rebind. There's one you can't find anymore, or it's hard. I think it's under a I found it when I was a teenager. My ADHD is showing. I found it when I was a teenager, and it was under a different name, and it was only in paperback. I am no longer a teenager and don't remember what the new title was, but I'll see if I can find it. It was called The Upside Down Ship when he read it to us. Kind of a survival, like, I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, The Hobbit. He also read us Watership Down. He also, which Watership Down is one of the hardest books to read. It is so boring when you read it to yourself. But it's a phenomenal story. Like, it's the Rats of Dim before the Rats of Dim. But the only thing like that I really remember about it, like detail, is Mr. Bigwig, the rabbit, Mr. Bigwig. And Mr. Fella gave him this German accent, Mr. Bigwig, and that's all I remember. But I remember I loved it. And then I tried reading it and watching the movie, and it was terrible to read and watch when it wasn't Mr. Fella. So, Mr. Fella, if you ever see this, you changed my life with books, and I love you for it. I hope your family's well. Okay, so anyway, the other ones he read, or another one he read, was The Never-Ending Story, which is a phenomenal book. Every chapter begins with the next letter in the alphabet. So the first chapter begins with the letter A, and the first word of the last chapter is zigzagging, and I will never forget that. The things I remember. Anyway, all right, back to this. So here's The Hobbit. Let's look at it. Dust cover. Inside has the Smaug certainly looked fast asleep, almost dead and dark, with scarcely a snore more than a whiff of unseen steam. So a little snippet. The text of this edition has been fully corrected and revised in collaboration with Christopher Tolkien, and is accompanied by a wealth of beautiful watercolor paintings and delicate pencil drawings from Alan Lee. And then it has reviews from various newspapers. And then, of course, it has the map to the mountain. And Smaug is Dur. And lots of elven writing, or not elven, Dwarvish. This is Thror's map here. Beautiful. So I will, I will get a copy of this, and I have really beautiful cotton parchment that I will use inside to maintain that. Okay, then we will just look through here, see if we can, oh, here, there you go. There's one of the illustrations. Absolutely stunning. I'm sure that's Gandalf because he's the biggest. And the dwarves. So beautiful, beautiful art. It's a gorgeous book. Now, here's why I'm going to rebind it. Number one, as beautiful as this dust cover is, they never live in my house. Like, they just get thrown away. Sorry, I've got something on my nose. And these are still beautiful green paper binding, but I want leather, and I'm a snob, so leather I will have. Now, the information that I didn't get from other videos is size, and on Amazon, they don't list the measurements for the book. So I have my handy dandy ruler here, and I'm going to do it in inches because I'm an American, although I'll probably translate it to millimeters for my laser. So the front cover is 9 inches tall. I'm going to guess 6 inches. 5 and my brain. 5 3/4 inches wide. So I'll just show that so that anybody who's interested will know. So you can see about 5 3/4. When you're bookbinding, you always go a little bigger. So there you go. You can see that when I stood it up, it didn't go right on the edge. So 5 3/4. And then the spine is 1 1/8 inch, approximately. Everything I've read about bookbinding, you always go up to the 1/8, the most recent 1/8. So you can see that there, or the closest 1/8. It's been a long time since I've been out of school. What is that? Nearest? Nearest. Round up to the nearest. Okay, so let's put this back very carefully. Don't want to damage anything because... So I just want to point out that in the UK, this is 25 pounds and Canadian, it's 40. I'm guessing that that is approximately 20, 25. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Anyway, so there's that one. And all of them are basically, that's kind of the illustrations. I'm not going to go as deep into looking at all of them. They're all green. Nope, different colors. Let's see. Fellowship is red. Okay, so all of the Lord of the Ring trilogy is red and the Hobbit is green. Makes sense. In my weird head. So the map, I already have that printed out for Fellowship. Let's look at the front cover is Rivendell. And then Bilbo's Trolls when Frodo was so sick. Let's look. All right, front cover. Yeah, about 6 inches wide, 9 1/8 tall. They're all going to be the same tall and wide, but inch and 5/8 wide, spine, thick spine. All right. Okay, now we've got the 2 towers. Front cover, that looks like the spider. There's Bilbo with his glowing sword. I'm gonna confess something I'm not super proud of. I've never read the actual trilogy. I've read most of the Fellowship. I will admit Tom Bombadil's poetry and songs got to me. I was listening to it on Audible with my son, and then he graduated from high school and moved out, and I stopped because we weren't listening to it together and it was our thing, and he hasn't, or not yet, so I'm just going to read it. But I wanted to wait until I want to reread The Hobbit first and then go through. So anyway, so now I have the books. I can. And then the outside of looks like Saruman's tower. I'm sorry. I'm tired. Anyway, I'm still getting over COVID. Anyway, all right. Quick measure. 9 1/4 tall. Front cover is exactly the same. Okay, and then I need the spine, and I'll be remeasuring these, and I will put the measurements in the description. I will edit the video for that. And 1.5 inches wide spine. And I'm just going to measure the spine of the Return of the King, since we know that they're all the same because they fit in the box. Well, all right, so now we've got, oh, look at them. That's beautiful. I really loved, the Riders of Rohan. I don't know. I really just identified with their storyline. Anyway, all right, let's look at the spine. Okay. So we're looking at 1 3/4 inch spine. Okay, so here's what is going to be happening with these. I will repost all of the measurements for each individual book labeled in the description. I'm kind of torn right now. So my youngest son, the one I was listening to the books with, or the book fellowship, he's leaving on an LDS mission in the next couple of months. We've been going through Hades, getting his dental work done. Long story. Anyway, and so as soon as that's done, he puts in his papers. Calls have been going really quick for those who understand how it works. For those who don't, the leaders of our church receive the application and they pray about it. And there's this cool computer screen where they see the kid, the picture of the kid. They see his application to go on a mission, and they look at his qualifications. My son studied ASL in high school for 2 years, 3 years. And then, and things like that. So they look at all of who he is, if he has allergies, what he is. They do the girls too. And then based on what we believe to be revelation by the Holy Ghost, they are assigned where they go on their mission. And then you get a letter. It used to be a printed letter in a mail, and my entire life, the kids would open them and it was a big deal. Well, now it comes by a special email. They get assigned a mission email from the church, and that's the email they use while they're on their mission. And then, so they're not using Gmail or anything. And then they get that email and they open up the email. Well, we're going to be doing a whole mission reveal because I'm cheesy and extra. And so, anyway, I did talk to my son today, and I asked him if he'd like a specially bound copy of the scriptures, leather bound. I have some things I'd like to add, like a pocket on the inside for highlighters. It's a journal edition, so you have about 1 inch to 1.5 inches on the outside border of the scriptures where you can write notes. So when you're doing your study, so he'll get the Old Testament, New Testament, Book of Mormon, and Doctrine and Covenants / Pearl of Great Price. They'll each be separate books. So that is going to be my top priority to rebind, because he will be leaving hopefully before the end of the year, maybe. Who knows? Whenever he goes, but I want to be ready. So that's going to come first. and because there's no deadline for the Lord of the Rings, except that I'm excited. So as soon as that's done, I will, or as soon as the scriptures are done, and I might show you guys those. As soon as the scriptures are done, I will do the Lord of the Rings. I already have the design done for Fellowship. I have to do one for The Hobbit and Two Towers and Return of the King, and I want them to all match and look, but I needed size, and anyway. So let me show you what I've already done. So when these didn't show up on time, I got overexcited. Now this is 3mm leather I got from Tandy Leather in Salt Lake City on State Street. They have been phenomenal when I've gone in to talk to them and get advice. So this is just beautiful natural leather. I did stain it this morning in a chocolate brown stain. And this is for the book Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yaros. I have the design done, and I engraved the spine this morning with my laser. I have a glow forge because, again, I'm extra, and I collect hobbies. But anyway, so I have engraved it. Let me see if I can get it without as much light. So I've engraved it, and you can kind of see the cloud, kind of like the Japanese style clouds like you see in Japanese style tattoos or in anime. And you can see her name's there, the book name is there, and then I've got the big dragon and the small dragon. If you've read the book, you know I'm not going to give any spoilers. There. Now, it's all gold. Is it going to stay that way? No, I have this masking paper that we use with the laser, and it's on all of the flat parts that are not engraved. So after this is fully dried, this is, and I'll tell you what I did. So what I did is I engraved it, and I had the masking on, and then I did a thin coat of this metallic paint, which I have leather paint. I just didn't use it, and I don't know why. Anyway, to do a base coat, and it's on top of the paper. And then I did, after that dried, I did a layer of the adhesive for the gold foil, not 24 karat gold. Nobody can afford that. And then I did the gold foil. So now I'm going to let this sit overnight. And then tomorrow, and I'll video this because, well, I don't know if this is going to work. This is all me just experimenting and learning. I never do anything easy the first time or ever. I will remove the masking tape, the special masking that's underneath here. And the only thing that should be left gold is the engraved parts. So that's my plan here. I'm in the middle of thinning out the edges. You can see that's the size. I'm new to YouTube. That's the side of this, the size of the actual cover here. And now I'm thinning this out. Now it's a 3mm leather, which is really thick. Martina from Nerd Forge, she's the one who got me all interested in this and thinking maybe I could do it. And so she uses like 1mm to 1.5mm thick leather. In the comments, people were saying, well, if you're going to tool the leather, you need it to be about 3mm. So I got, or 2 to 3mm. So I got 3mm, and then I learned how hard skiving is here on the edge. Hold on. I've always promised myself I was not going to be one of those YouTubers who didn't learn how to pronounce something. So let's do this together. Skiving. Skived? No, that's not it. Skive. No. Brother. Again, misspelling it. Boy, this is amazing. Okay, skiving. I'm going to say skiving is my guess. There's no E in the middle. All right. Let's see. Skive. So I'm in the middle of skiving this leather down to about 0.5 millimeter from 3 millimeters. This side's getting close. The bottom, there's some good spots. I've still got like this part is still pretty thick. Over here is getting, I'm doing well, but I'm taking a break from that while the gold leaf dries. So anyway, that's where I'm currently at. I'm going to finish that up hopefully no later than Thursday. Friday, I will go purchase the scriptures, to the journal edition of the scriptures, to rebind for my son. I think I have all but one already that are mine, that I've already written in. So I'll get the measurements and I'll do the design in Illustrator for the covers this week while I'm waiting for that to dry and I'm working and rewatching Critical Role or something. And then I'm not a big Halloween person, although I'm wearing my favorite shirt. But gosh, the ADHD is bad. Anyway, so I'll just do the design and have those designs cut out no later than Saturday or Sunday. The blessings of having a laser. I'm probably going to go get some slightly thinner leather Friday or Saturday in Salt Lake. And then next week and the week after, I will focus on rebinding the scriptures. It's 4 books, so it's a lot for me because I've never done it. You guys, this is the first time I've worked with leather or rebinding. My book press is over there. Like, I'm brand new at this. But like I said, I never do anything easy the first time ever. I have Jane Eyre, an unabridged original text version of Jane Eyre coming at the end of November. So I already have quite a few books coming. I have the second book in Fourth Wing coming. By the way, my screen's over here, but my camera's here. I guess I'm supposed to look here. Anyway, I have the second book coming next week, but I'm not in a rush to bind that because, like I said, this is not my review of Fourth Wing. It's an enjoyable read, a little bit of smut, which I could do without. But it's not like this is the great American novel. This is going to be a book that I just don't care about. But now that I have one bound, I have to do the other because, and there's going to be 5 of them apparently. Or at least that's what she's planning. But anyway, I have a lot of books in my husband's office to do as well. So I'm not in any rush to do, I want to get Lord of the Rings done. Jane Eyre is one of my favorite books of all time. I want to get the scriptures done for my son. And then I'll do whatever is on I've got a huge long wish list. Anything you guys want to see me do, anything you want to learn about, anything I can do that you find interesting, let me know. But yeah, so that's the plan. This is going to be, I guess, the first crafting series on this channel. Shout out to my friend Zeno, who's pushing me to stop delaying until everything's perfect. And I promise the next one will be better. I'm literally filming this using YouTube's live feature, even though no one can see it because I'm nervous. But next time I will have the software ready to go. And so hopefully our next video will be Friday or Saturday that I'll film it. And then I will upload it next week. So we're going to get started on this. I've got a lot of things I want to do, including, so it's Saints and Makers. So it's going to be half my faith because it's a major part of who I am. And the other half is going to be making because it's the other huge part of what I am. Just to give you an idea, this is my bedroom. my office and my craft room. So it's constantly in a state of turmoil. And I'm very shy about showing aspects of things that aren't perfect in my life. So that's why I've been putting it off, but I'm going to stop because I'm never going to be perfect. And I just am who I am. Anyway, love you guys. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching this if anybody does. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye. End stream.